There is one organ which causes high blood pressure, and it's not what you think. And there are specific exercises you can use to target and fix your blood pressure easily. No diet, lifestyle changes, or medication required. Check the link in the description below, but for now, today's question.
The question, is blood pressure of 140/90 normal for a 19-year-old? Answer by Rajinder Bala. It is on higher side for 19-year-old. To control your blood pressure, you may not need to take any medicines. If you drink water with meals, reduce the same to 200 milliliters with each meal. Do not drink any water or other liquid except with meals for 34 days. Read till end. Blood pressure has no symptoms. First line of medicines are diuretics, commonly known as water pills. They make a person pee more often and increase the volume of urine as well. Diabetes symptoms are increased thirst, frequent urination. 50% of the people with diabetes or BP will get the other one in due course of time. So in both cases there is something wrong in fluids. In diabetes, body is trying to get rid of excess fluids on its own. In BP, person has to take medicines to get rid of excess fluids. Reduced body fluids increase the minerals and glucose concentration in fluids. So instead of eliminating minerals, salt, and glucose, we need to take these to reverse these conditions. Thirst is caused when the blood volume is reduced. So the first target for management of diabetes should be to increase blood volume. Once thirst is managed, frequent urination will automatically stop. Urination will reduce because in the absence of thirst a person may drink much less water. When heart is in rest condition and not pumping blood, the reading is called diastolic reading or lower one. So if lower reading is less than 80, it means that the blood volume is less. When the upper reading, systolic, is less, that means that heart is not getting enough energy to pump the blood. The ideal gap between lower and higher reading should be 40. In case the gap is more, then it means that the body is not getting adequate supply of minerals and body is demanding more fluids. And heart has priority over other organs and is supplying more fluids. When there is low mineral levels in the blood, that might mean that there is too much of that mineral in the cells and liver has given the last priority to making that mineral. Remember, most of the minerals can be made in the liver if body lacks them. So blood tests have no relevance to reach any conclusion about health. There are a lot of other combinations and explanations of BP. Drinking water with meals can improve health in following ways. This question had troubled me for more than 15 years. I changed various formats of drinking water. I drank water on empty stomach for a good 10 years or more. I used to avoid drinking water with meals. Results: whitish layer on tongue. Increased sensation of thirst with passage of time. Thick saliva. Almost non-existing. The taste of food was impaired. I did not like the taste of most of the food that once I used to like. So 2 months back I decided to drink 200 milliliters water with each meal. Result shocked me. I stopped feeling thirsty. Saliva volume increased tenfold. Food started tasting better. There seemed to be significant improvement in the sharpness of brain. Not drinking water for 36 hours was very easy. Let us first understand about what is there in our body. 65 to 75% of body weight is fluid. 15% of body weight is bones. 5% could be waste sitting in large and small intestines waiting to be excreted. Rest is fats, muscles and other molecules. So going by weight, volume fluid should be most important. Otherwise also bones, fat and muscles are fed the nutrients by fluids. They all are stationary. It is the fluid which moves from one place to another. So we need to control and understand the working of fluids. This fluid is there in 3 major compartments. Of the total fluid, 10% is blood. Rest of 90% fluid is there in cells and in space between cells. Blood, 10% of total fluid, feeds the nutrients to rest of 90% fluids. Think what will happen if the 90% of the fluids fall short of minerals and carbs. Now understand that almost 70% of the minerals and carbs are manufactured in the body itself with the help of other minerals and enzymes. Think again, if there is shortage of blood glucose in 90% of the fluids, the body will raise glucose in the blood by assigning top priority to convert everything into glucose. Glucose is the single most important nutrient needed in our body. No diabetic dies due to excessive blood glucose. They die when body fails to meet the requirement of glucose. Heart and other vital organs do not get enough energy to operate optimally. The explanation of drinking water with meals is as under. When we eat food, our stomach produces acids and other enzymes to convert the food and other liquids into a paste. This paste is passed on to small intestines. Small intestine is connected to blood veins. The minerals, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, water, enzymes, and other nutrients are absorbed in small intestines and moved to liver for further processing. After processing in liver, the mineralized blood is sent to kidney for balancing of the minerals. Any minerals found to be out of correct proportions are filtered out. The first benefit of this will be that blood volume will increase as more fluids will be absorbed with minerals because of more water content in the food. When we drink water on empty stomach or after more than 10 minutes after a meal, there may not be any fluid absorption in the absence of acids in small intestine or when water is taken on empty stomach. So drinking water with meals should help cure varicose veins problem. It should also help improve the skin. It should remove the dark eye spots and improve eyesight. It can improve cataract as well. It can prevent prostate cancer as well. There are 1,000s of possibilities. But I remember very clearly that when I increased my water intake and started drinking on empty stomach, all the health problems were cured in less than 10 days. Same result I saw with lot of other people also. That is an indication that drinking water on empty stomach is meant to remove metabolic toxins. So we do need to drink water on empty stomach as well after every few days. Weight loss. When we drink water or any other liquid after more than 10 minutes after a meal, the water and other liquids are not absorbed in small intestines, in the absence of stomach acids. Stomach acids are produced only in response to food and not in response to water and other liquids. The liquids and water are passed on to large intestines. In large intestines also the excess water and vitamins are absorbed. However, the large intestine does not absorb any minerals, carbohydrates, fats and proteins. This water is passed on to intracellular fluids. No processing is done by liver and kidneys. This is kind of direct reach to the body fluids which are passed on to cells. Over a period of time, the intracellular fluids around the large intestines become devoid of most of the minerals. These fluids are also striped off the essential glucose. In the absence of glucose, the metabolic rate falls, which causes increase in blood sugar to compensate for the lack of glucose in intracellular fluids. Absence, or lack, of glucose in interstitial fluids will cause flight of fluids from blood, making a person feel thirst all the time. That gets converted into diabetes in due course of time. Not drinking any fluids except with meals will dehydrate the large intestine and surrounding areas of excess fluids. This will result in increase in metabolic rate. It will also help reduce intracellular water. Average total intracellular fluid makes up about 30 to 50 liters of fluid. That means a loss of 5 liters of intracellular fluid can be brought in about 30 days. That is the fastest and safest weight loss that is possible. The excess water reaching in large intestine is the cause for prostate problems. Read my blog for detailed explanation about the role of fluids in our body. My blog in brief. Chronic mineral imbalance in blood leads to low metabolic rate, resulting in aging and age-related diseases like blood sugar, blood pressure and heart disease, etc. To correct mineral imbalance, do hydration-dehydration cycles, and to increase resting metabolic rate, do walking and rest routines as detailed on my blog. Read my blog for more details or watch my YouTube videos at Rajendra Bala. To increase resting metabolic rate, RMR. Do the following. Walk for 5 minutes at easy pace within your home in the morning. After walking, rest for 510 minutes in bed. Repeat the above 3 times in the morning, afternoon, evening and at night before sleeping. So that makes for 12 walk and rest routines, or 5 by 12 equals 60 minutes of walk for the entire period. One can do it selectively during weekdays and on working days only in the morning and at night. The idea about walking is that it mobilizes energy, and before the entire mobilized energy is spent, we rest. In such a case, a part of the mobilized energy becomes available for vital organs. Doing walking and rest routines takes care of aging-related diseases as well. The hydration-dehydration cycles. Day 1 to 4, drink 150 plus 200 milliliter water with every meal. Total fluids intake on these days should not exceed 500 to 600 milliliters. Day 5, drink 150 to 200 milliliters water every hour from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Repeat after 15 days till you are completely free of diabetes. Hopefully, in case of pre-diabetics, this will work in 15 to 30 days, completely reversing the diabetes. After you get free of diabetes and your blood sugar reading are back to normal, you can start drinking water at any time, but keeping in view the above principles. The big question that one may be interested to know will be, why should a person drink water on empty stomach or at any time other than meal? Initial results indicate that water reaching large intestines help removing the metabolic waste. So that is also equally important. Sugar, food, etc. has no bearing on diabetes and blood sugar management. 1 to 2 persons have reported reversal of diabetes in less than 10 days. Also read my blog for detailed explanation of how the above steps ensure perfect health. Feedback will help a lot of people out there. Answer by Dieter Bevel. Not typically, that is higher than one would like to see in any adult, Nevertheless, a 19-year-old that is maxing out the scale, and according to some changes in recent years, is considered high blood pressure. There are variables such as athlete, overall health, body mass, etc., but most physicians will likely discuss some lifestyle changes, possibly meds if there is no improvement. Answer by Jacob Golczynski. Given my habits, I miraculously on a good day am at 125/85, and bad 130/90. Not ideal but not that amazing. 140/90 if you're not taking any stimulants, if you drink coffee or Mountain Dew or are taking ad meds, stimulants, before this is checked it's going to go up by 1015, is a little high and in some cases might be borderline hypertension. Nothing that bad to worry about. Terry's plenty of people close to 200 that still operate and walk, but they're on blood pressure medications. Ideal range is 120/80 to 140/90, so you're right on the edge.